Okay, so the last piece. I will just revisit the strategy briefly because we've covered a lot of ground. We covered leadership, strategy, and now the final piece I would like to cover is capability. So we talked about the integration, you've seen examples, and now the question is who will do it and what they need to do it, what type of skills, and is the mainstream qualification enough or maybe not enough? So I'll show you a number of skills. There will be 10 or so. And as I go through those, I would like you to ask yourself if you could do it. I won't be checking that, so this is just for yourself, so be honest with yourself. But try it out. Can you do it? Differentiate between hazards and error traps in the risk assessment. Identify 10 major constraints categories that lead to adaptations. Identify 10 design issues that increase the chance of error and compliance. Identify minimum 5 organizational factors that lead to unfollowable procedures. Explain why people decided to do something even when they say they don't know. Do you know how to identify critical steps in a task? How to use error prediction keywords to identify error traps and how errors can happen. How to apply human error prevention hierarchy of controls. How to identify dependencies between different teams and how dependencies create risk. How to conduct restorative dialogue to hold people accountable in a way that makes them more engaged. And last one, can you measure safety as capacity rather than safety as number of injuries? So the skill set to build on what I call broadly and loosely modern safety that draws from safety science is mostly not available through the mainstream qualifications, sadly. The skills and tools come from different fields, different disciplines, human factors, human performance improvement, HPI, resilience engineering, engineering psychology, and there are others. And so here are some examples of those areas. So we would like our people to be able to inquire and deep dive into the constraints creating those categories, and then be able to integrate those with existing processes and look into that integration through a lens of systems. So multiple elements interacting together. And then finally, the question is where we can start. And there isn't one way, there isn't one place, but here are some ideas. If you've got an existing trends, say hand injuries, start with that. But don't start by asking why the injury happened. Start by asking what makes this activity difficult, what makes this task difficult. You can take the risk matrix, identify high-risk activities and go there, or extremely powerful, before you start deep diving, ask the people doing the work what they're worried about. I've got an experience of working with a large organization, and we try to approach systematically, we try to break down very systematically the areas of risk. And that was very resource heavy and took a lot of time. And then the team went to the field one day and asked a simple question, hey, what worries you here? What's concerning you? And immediately they said, you know what, this is it. We work, there is this big engine, it's suspended, we have to access it from beneath, we work under the suspended load, this is a multi-ton thing. We shouldn't be doing this is what worries me. Immediately. And it would be much more difficult, not impossible, but much more difficult and time-consuming to identify through type of desktop exercise. So talking to people about their concerns is extremely effective. And so overall, to sum this up, we need a combination of mindset, skill set, and tool set in order to learn effectively. You see that we are reinterpreting, we're changing how we think of safety, how we think of behavior, unsafe behavior, and shifting the perspective. And without that mindset shift, it's difficult to learn, because what you look for is what you find. The questions we are asking and will be driven by our beliefs and our interpretation of reality. And the tools give us structure, like walkthrough, talk-through, or learning team. They provide a structure through which we can use our questions based on our mindset. And so this has implications for culture change, for safety strategy, for business strategy, and for leadership development. And with this said, thank you so very much for staying with me.